you guys should be heard now. So
Okay.
Okay.
we're good. We're good.
We're good.
Just fix your technical difficulties. Remember, we're on a time frame. We are on Zoom. We're not paying for the full thing.
Working on it right now.
Cool. We might be joined by Jeff Hirschkin later, so you know
Awesome.
that'd be cool. Um. So, but anyways, welcome to the podcast, guys. Week 2 of the live
Hello,
stream.
Souther bro. How you doing?
Hey, that's Joshua Sutherland.
Okay.
He will be on the TCG podcast tomorrow. It will not be live. We will film it, and then it should be uploaded Monday on our new channel, Nova Circuit TCG, which will drop a link on our Facebook page to remind people, and Twitter, and yes, everything else.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, there's Jeff.
Hirschkin showed up, so we got 2 Jeffs here. We just don't see
Hello.
we don't see his face.
There he is.
Clean your room. We can't hear you.
Hello.
Oh wait, hold on. It's connecting your audio, Jeff.
Mhm.
Just give it a second. It's connecting your audio. He's a Fantastic Four fan. Ugh, embarrassing. So,
Fantastic Four.
yep. Oh, and Jeff left.
Oh, I did see some Naruto stuff.
Eh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Dude, the whole time limit that we have on Zoom is just gonna be us troubleshooting everything. Hey, Jeff, talk.
Hey there.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, it works.
Hello.
Yeah, I was just having a little trouble connecting to the audio.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. If you didn't notice, the other Jeff is having issues connecting to webcam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
just
is.
closed out the link and just rejoined.
Yeah. So, anyways, while Jeff is the other Jeff, because we have 2 in this podcast today, we'll just go ahead and start discussions. And while Jeff's figuring out his webcam situation, we'll just discuss some topics. So, oh God, and I'm sorry for the noise in the background. My son is having fun. So me and Margaret did a really cool thing yesterday, and it was a really cool, unique idea for the channel. Jeff, I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this. So we
Yeah,
thought
fun too.
yeah, we thought it'd be cool because COVID's kind of restricted you on vacations. Not many people are going out having fun, doing crazy things. So we were just like, it'd be a really good YouTube video is us taking a vacation, not physically, but in a virtual world called Google Earth or Google Maps. So we just chose random places, and we thought, haunted places are cool. So we kind of did our own little haunted tour of the of the world, and then we chose our happy places to kind of make ourselves feel better. But I think what we looked at the East State Penitentiary, and the cool thing is Google actually lets you go in it. There you can walk through them, and I was just like, this is cool. And then that was cool. And then we did the Queen Mary, the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
And then, what's that lighthouse out
Saint
there?
Saint Augustine
Yeah.
lighthouse down here in Florida.
Yeah. And then we did our happy places. I chose Huntington Beach, and then Margaret chose some other haunted place because she's crazy.
It's not haunted. It's just historical.
Like your dad's house?
No, he doesn't live there anymore. He has a new house. But
the old house.
That old house, yes, it was haunted. It was scary
That-
haunted.
That place was scary. I dreaded going over there.
Yeah. So, but that was fun. That video should be up this week too.
That's
had
that's
fun.
really really interesting. I've not heard
That's
of that before.
Yeah, so I don't think it's been done, honestly. So we're gonna ask people to leave comments and let us know of places that they want us to travel to, and kind of just do cool things like cool Easter eggs. Hey, what's some cool Google things? I think we even did Chernobyl, didn't we? We went and looked at the nuclear plant. That was fun. Just crazy things. So
Babe. Okay, technical difficulties. Give me 1 second.
oh God. Good thing they live in the same house. So have you been, Jeff? This is your first ever being on anything Nova Circuit since the TCG stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, we did make those few videos together, but it's been a while.
Yeah, and you could tell the people I kind of appointed you head of the TCG stuff, pretty much.
Yeah, so I'll be more on the administrative side of things, just making sure everything's kind of streamlined and trying to figure out kind of how the format of the program is that we want to run for any of the videos, streams, etc.
Yep. Also, we thought about tournaments. You can mention that too, hosting tournaments since You are a Pokemon judge?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're just
What-
kind of like figuring out exactly what that format is, like how many different TCG things we want to run,
Mm-hmm.
how they look. Um, we probably are trying to figure out how to be a little bit different from everybody else because we
Mhm.
don't want to just be another one of those YouTubers that's just like opening packs and just being like, oh, this is cool, and or
There's
gifting cards
definitely
out
a
to
lot of
somebody
that.
else. Yeah, there's too much of that in my
I
opinion.
agree.
And
Yeah.
I think I had a conversation with somebody about this before, about like specific YouTubers, like Pokemon YouTubers. The one thing I noticed about Pokemon YouTubers is if you notice and you go to like maybe the top Pokemon streamers or YouTubers, like they're capped. You're never gonna see any of them unless it's Leon Hart with 1 million subscribers. Like it's rare, and I feel like there's a cap in that because it's only a specific audience that you're targeting.
Yeah, and they're also tied into like different YouTube algorithms,
Mm-hmm.
being at the level they're at because they've been there for so long.
Yep.
And nobody's gonna top the accessibility that they have.
Yes. And I'm not saying their channels are bad. Like I still watch Azul.
No.
Yeah,
But they're
they're
at
good
the-
channels, but they're at, like you're saying, they're
at the top of their food chain,
Yep.
and there's just no getting around that.
Yeah.
So just trying to be different is like the one thing we're gonna have going for us.
Oh, I did talk. It was about Josh about that. Yeah, because Josh Sutherland was thinking about doing it. Because Josh is one of the top, players out there. In my book, he's definitely number one in Kentucky. So, oh my God, a hobo appeared.
Oh, you finally figured out some kind of video there.
So, but yeah. Josh is definitely can have a good following. He's well known. So, I mean,
He's been a part of the community as long as I've been in the community.
He was part of Nova Circuit too. So we'll always have his back on any endeavors he tries to pursue as well. So we got your back, Josh. But yes, Josh will be on our podcast, our first Pokemon or our first podcast in general for the TCG channel, and that will be like the kickoff to the content being put on that channel. So I hear my rabbit in the back.
Lay Bunny.
Yeah, Gus.
Was this I guess you've had him, was this a whole week now?
Yeah, about a week and a half.
So how's he acclimating to the family life of the McKinneys?
Awesome. He's getting better. He was really fidgety at first, but he's a lot better. He
there
loves
we go.
outside. My God, when we put him outside in his little pen or whatever thing, his little home thing, man, he just goes
Not about that
crazy.
cage life.
No, he does not like the inside. I think it's because Zelda, my cat, she's in here, and she's at the curious stage. She's like, "What is that?" So I don't know if she's like scaring him, and then
But you also
having
got
to
to
be
figure
loud.
like cat's a natural predator to a rabbit as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not my
I've-
cat. My cat's a natural lazy cat.
Well,
Yeah.
most of them are.
So I've had a couple of cats that have chased rabbits out in the backyard.
Man,
One of them actually got one. So
Really?
Yeah, don't mind our
Wow.
That was-
boxes in the background, guys, please. If you can tell, we have like,
I can't
I don't
tell.
know. Okay.
I see a
All right,
blurry
he
mess.
It's all
zoomed in.
blurry.
He zoomed
Alright.
in. There, you could just see all the mountain of boxes because we're getting
Yeah.
ready to try to move. So
Like if I remove my background, you see a green screen, kind of a mess in the office, and then my mess on the other side of the office. So
yeah, I might look at changing mine. Mine's just obviously my room.
hey, no, yours looks 10 times cleaner than what mine
Yeah,
does. I got
yours
toys
don't look
all
bad.
over the place.
Definitely
so.
acceptable.
Yeah, where you can see my Naruto posters and my Fantastic Four poster.
Yeah, I'm digging the Naruto posters.
for a minute there, I thought you were fucking 10 years old.
Well, I mean, depends on who you ask. I might be.
Who's talking, Jason?
Yeah,
Seriously?
Jason's saying that, and he's got like Pokemon shit all over his house.
I got Pokemon cards all over my desk. Magic
Yeah.
over here. I got my.
Oh, I have
Fucking
nothing
look
but
like you're
Pokemon
10.
right now. Like I've
Well,
just
look-
been buying and collecting like different cards right now. So like I've got piles of the EVV Maxes and some Charizards and some of the other shinies and yeah, actually we got I don't know if any of you guys got these or like if you guys are into the Pokemon, but GameStop had the special promos.
No,
the
I didn't even realize
Flapples?
that until it's too late.
Yeah, so these were if you bought $15 worth of TCG product, you got one of the stamped cards for the Flapple. So I was able to get three of those. Yeah, I might be able to work something out for you.
Sweet. Yeah.
What do you play anything besides Pokemon?
I dabble in Magic. I've been in Magic for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. My brother-in-law got me into it a little bit, but like at first I mostly just collected and kind of traded and sell around a little bit. But nowadays I play just whatever's cheap. So I play Pauper. I play Pauper format is one of my favorites, and I play Modern, but I only play one deck of Modern. It's just a really cheap burn deck.
What is Pauper? I've never heard of that.
So Pauper is a really great format. I wish we had something like that in Pokemon. It's a little bit more difficult to do. Right now, like we have the Professor formats, which is kind of similar to a Pauper format. Basically, in Pauper for Magic, you are not allowed to play with anything above a common rarity level. So commons only. So that limits
that
the
could be
card
very
pool.
interesting.
It limits the card pool. You play a 60 card, 15 sideboard format. So it's a limit of 4. So it's not like your limit 1 commander like formats. So
yeah.
So it's a structured deck, and because the card pool is limited by rarity, you don't have like super overpowered stuff that you can just like go off on the first 1 or 2 turns. It plays out a little bit longer, but it's, smaller, cheaper cards. So you might spend like $50 on a deck. And
yeah.
So I just send a list off to the local card shop and tell them, hey, I'm looking for these cards. And it's like $50 for a deck, and you can't beat that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's a little hard to do in Pokemon. I'm not sure you can.
It's a little bit, like I said, you can do it in a Professor format, which we're kind of going through right now. They've been doing that because of the COVID restrictions, so we're doing everything online. So like similar in Pokemon, what it would be is we're looking at you're not allowed to play with like ultra rares. So anything that's like a V or GX or EX type card, that's off limits.
What about Prime?
You could.
Well, we play in a current standard format, so there's no primes.
Lame. Best format.
I know you could definitely do something like that in Yu-Gi-Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not sure like what the rarity levels and stuff are for like Yu-Gi-Oh. Or
it's basically the same. You have like common, rare, super rare, secret rare, ultra rare.
I know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm like super slow at it. I would have to read like all the cards and stuff. I haven't played since like the last format I played was whatever was when the video game came out with the was it like Sacred Hearts or something like that?
Oh my gosh! So you're
on
talking
like the Game Boy Advance. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not like now. Now it's not even.
No, because you got like all those special
game.
Summons now. It's like
it's
chain link
now.
summons and
you got link monsters, exceeds. My gosh, so many fusion monsters. Pendulum monsters.
The pendulums. Because I bought some structure decks recently and had been dabbling around in it a little bit.
Wow. I think
On Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, I have. Hold on, while you guys are talking about this, hold on. I think I have one right here.
I was gonna buy the back. I don't know, quite a few formats ago. There was Shadal's, man. It was like my favorite deck, and just more recently, within the last year or so, they released structure decks for those with new cards and link monsters and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the one I bought has like one of the Dark Magicians in it.
Yeah,
it's within a few months. I couldn't tell you what the name was though.
That deck is really fun though. You kind of like if you buy 3 of the structure decks, you basically like make
a whole
something.
Deck.
Yeah, it's competitively viable at that point. Minus like some expensive staples, but they're not like required. But
How can I remove most of that mess back there?
Why did you have to make sure you leaned into the microphone when you told your wife she was sexy?
Because she is sexy. So here's the Yu-Gi-Oh structure deck that I got. And then,
Oh, word.
And then
Wait, that's not actually Yu-Gi-Oh, is
Is
it?
that
No.
fucking Wee Schwartz?
Yeah. No, it's just My Little Pony. It's a little joke. But I did get this one. I don't know if the
What's it say on the bottom? I can't read
structure deck Freezing Chains. I got this one recently. That's pretty
I don't even.
cool.
That's some new one. I'm
No,
not sure what that one
it
is.
It has some dwagons in it.
Some dwagons.
Yeah, there's lots of dwagons and
Check out the
Yugi
dwagon.
mons.
It's a dwagon, guys.
Oh, that's cool. What kind of dragon is he?
Trishula, Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier.
Oh, there's a new Trish.
Sure, yeah. Talking to a guy who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh right now, but yes. Yeah. But yeah, I got that, and then I got like a whole bunch, like people that I work with can tell you that I got a whole bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh at work because we've been playing there. That's who I've been practicing with to kind of get up to speed with Yu-Gi-Oh, because my goal is to like learn all the card games we're posting about and all that good stuff. Let me go back to full screen.
What deck have you been playing with?
Nothing really, just a made up, thrown in together what cards we liked. Like, kind of has some fairy deck that has all those characters that look like they're waifus.
So like every Yu-Gi-Oh female ever.
Pretty much. But mine's nothing special. And plus we've been playing with the old like format stuff. Like, you remember when they came out with the Yugi decks, the little gold collection that came with all the Yugi decks? We've been just competing with each other on those because I have that. I just do my best to summon Exodia. And then we do have the Yu-Gi-Oh game. Not the one that you linked me to, Jeff, but the actual game on Xbox.
Duel Links.
No, it's
shit, I don't remember what it's called.
But anyways, on there we created decks that are completely not legal, but you can still play each other online. They're completely. My deck is not legal at all. It runs like Graceful Charities and Pot of Greeds just to get Exodia out in like 3 turns.
Yeah, most of
Hane and all that stuff.
Yeah, most of them decks you get in those like legendary collections and shit, you can't run like half of those cards, if not more.
Yeah. So
I think Pot of Greed did actually come unbanned though. Like it's limited to 1 now, I think.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool, but I'm trying to get into it. I'll definitely get into it when you get to Kentucky, because at least I'll have a super competitive player. Like, I would love to talk to the guys at the card shop, but some of those guys come off as like, yes.
Yeah. I get it.
But it's whatever. So Jeff Hirschkin, wants to do classic games for the channel too. He wants to do a lot of like the what would you say, like 64 stuff, because you know all the crazy stuff in like Legend of Zelda and stuff like that. We talked about this on Tuesday.
So like all the games I've played are older games. I haven't played like hardly any of the newer games in the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. Like even the more popular ones, like I might play 1 or 2 games a year now just because of time constraints and attention span. So I might not be like as up to date on everything as everybody else. So like some of the newer games that I played are just like the really popular ones and like mostly RPGs. So like I'll play the Final Fantasy VII remake. I played Dragon Quest. Last of Us is probably the newest thing that I've really played.
Mm-hmm.
And but anything like beyond that, like I grew up playing, you know, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, and GameCube and PS2. So like that's kind of where all my expertise lies. So like any of the games within those eras are right up my alley.
Yeah. So that'd be fun, because like once again, like anytime me and Margaret were watching LARPs, the web series, and every freaking time at the end of every episode they're playing on their goddamn classic consoles, either their NES and then season 2 is the Super Nintendo. And like I come home and I'm like, man, I really want to play those so badly.
Did you
I
guys
thought
ever
you were
watch
going to say you really want to go LARP.
I mean
It
that too.
does.
I mean it seems
It,
really fun, honestly.
honestly, I told Jason one time. I think I just want to do it one time just to get it off my chest. I think it'll be
Yeah.
fun. I think it
Yeah,
would be fun just to do it one time.
it would.
LARPing is really interesting, but like, I mean, I play regular D&D, so I don't know, like, it
It's
gives
just
like a
another
little,
level up.
yeah, it's like taking your 2D to a 3D, and it's like just
Exactly.
a little bit better.
It's almost bringing it to life on a different level.
Yeah. I mean it's literally just next level D&D, which we want to do D&D stuff too. D&D is really fun. Me and Margaret talked about doing that virtually as well. Jeff,
Yep.
do you DM? Have you?
I don't DM. I'm actually working on a campaign though.
Mm-hmm.
I have stuff on a Google Doc and written down on paper. It's probably going to take me honestly a couple of years to flesh it out. Because mine's going to be basically at the level of something along the lines of like Final Fantasy Tactics on the
Mm-hmm.
PS1, just as far as like the political background of things. So like I'm going very in depth of like if I'm building like one city, say there's like 200 people in that city, every one of them is going to have like a deep background as an NPC, even if you don't come across them ever. Like they're still going to have their background story and how they tie into the world and their city within the last 100 years or whatever's going on. So I have a really in-depth like story in the works. I've never DM'd. I'm probably just building the story and somebody else can DM it for other people.
Yeah.
But currently I'm just a player apart from that.
Like how
Yeah,
many
it would definitely-
character like NPCs are you talking about?
Well, I mean, like currently,
Oh.
yeah, I don't know. Like it's just gonna be really, really big. That's just an example. Like, you know, if one of the smaller cities has like 100 or 200 people in it as NPCs, like every one of those characters has a background and a story that goes and ties back into like a tree branch of other characters.
Yeah, that's a
over a
lot.
span of X years.
That's definitely a lot.
Yeah. So it's something I'm kind of working on. Like I said, it's going to probably take me a couple of years to like really flesh it out and kind of get like even just the overarching like framework of the main story and campaign. But
Right.
I hope to have something to
Yeah.
kind of show for it.
We're wanting to
before too long.
do virtual D&D for the channel too. Like
Yeah.
do it kind of like this, how we're in a Zoom meeting, and then just run a campaign.
And that's kind of what I've been doing for the last year because of the COVID. I was playing a campaign with some guys that I've been with for, I guess about I want to say 5 years. I think I've been doing it since 2016. But this last year we've just been doing it over Google, and it's kind of the same thing. I've watched some videos of like high production D&D sessions, where they basically have like actors.
Yeah.
And these people put on like really great performances. Even one of our mutual friends to Jason and myself, Kirk, is part of a very popular D&D podcast.
Dube Snacks?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Love that guy.
What was that? You Meet in a Tavern. D&D podcast. If you guys haven't watched or listened to that, I highly recommend it. It's actually really good. Those first few episodes are fantastic.
I've seen a few things like that. I can't
There's our
remember.
time running out. We got 10 minutes.
I think Critical Role did something similar to that, but it was all their own.
Yeah, I've started
stuff.
listening to that, but I
don't know what kind of
in.
rule set they used though. I don't know if it was like actual like D&D rules or
Yeah, when they first started, I've listened to like the first 30 episodes of the original Critical Hits, and I want to say they were playing 5e when it first came out, and they had a couple of players that had played like older versions of the game, but they kind of skipped a version or two over the years and stepped back into D&D with 5e.
Okay.
Yeah, I played 4th edition for sure. That was the last time No. I played 4th edition, but when I was playing with my friend Greg years ago, he was running 2 point something. I think 2.4 or something.
Yes.
Um, yeah, those were the
That's
times.
fine.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong about which version Critical Hits was playing because it might be an older version even.
Yeah.
I just want to play D&D, dang it. I want to be
Me
a
too.
rogue or something crazy, and I want to go into a
Mage.
virtual world.
It's a lot of fun. I haven't really stopped in these last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Well, when we start doing the D&D stuff, we'll work out a schedule, and then we'll start doing content for it. That sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be fun. I've always wanted to play D&D, but I've never had the opportunity. There's never
Me neither.
been,
Mm-hmm.
Anybody I knew that played it, or, I just never had the chance.
I had a guy that lived across the street from me when I was younger. In his basement, he had a big, huge table that went from one end to the basement to the other, and it had a cap on it. And he took it off, and it was just this whole land and a whole bunch of action figures just everywhere. I didn't understand what it was, and then as I got older, it dawned on me what this guy did down there. And he was playing D&D down in his basement, but it was pretty awesome to see that setup.
Yeah, so like just as an example, have you guys ever played any of the Elder Scrolls games?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like,
yes.
I played Morrowind, which was I think the third one in the series originally, and like the older ones are like more in depth and complicated, and D&D is the exact same way. Fifth edition is comparative to I think what Elder Scrolls 5 is. Which one is the latest one?
Yeah, 5, Skyrim.
Yeah,
Skyrim.
Yep.
Yeah. So like it's a more simplified version of the originals like series of the games, and
Like
D&D
Morrowind
5e is the same thing. Yeah, it's a lot more like streamlined. Like you have a core set of abilities, and those tie into like your skills and stuff, and it's not as complicated.
So do you play stuff like obviously you like D&D and stuff like that. Do you play like Descent or like Gloomhaven or stuff like that?
So again, those are probably newer games. I don't think I've ever heard of any of those.
Gotcha.
So the answer is no.
Pathfinder?
I know Pathfinder just because it's like the alternative to D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people play that, but that's also, again, slightly a more complicated version of D&D because it goes back further to like a 3.5 D&D version where it was again, it's just more complicated because every action you have has like different roles to different aspects of it, whereas 5e is just you're going to roll for this one action and that's it.
So you're saying newer D&D is more simplified and like streamlined than older versions?
Very streamlined, very much so.
I say we get this ball rolling as soon as possible because us just talking about D&D just makes me want to.
It makes you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you gonna DM Jason? Because
fuck no. I'm gonna tell you something. My stories would be whack as hell, man.
But you're gonna have to find somebody to do it then.
I got.
Yeah, we definitely need a DM.
I think I have a guy.
Yeah, finding the right person is key.
The guy I have is probably the right person. I haven't really talked to him about it, but I know I've talked to him about running a campaign before, just not for Nova Circuit. But I know he's been interested, and he does like doing his own story. But he also he likes mixing it in, like running his own campaign, but then mixing in stuff from Wizards D&D booklets. So I understand. He says it does add like some excitement to it, but it's whatever. I mean, I'll talk to him. I'd love to get the ball rolling on this though as fast as possible because it's just D&D, man. It's like the greatest.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
See, so what I don't understand about D&D is, so they have all these books.
Yeah.
Like these books of different
campaigns.
So yeah, most of those books are just expansions and different like possible stories that you could run, like different possible campaigns. Just the main like player's handbook, the DM book, and the monster handbook, like that's all you need to run a game. Like if you come up with your own story, that's all you need. All the other books
let's say
are
you
just
buy
like
those books though. Let's say like I just went out and bought the book and we had the rules and everything. At that point, like the book is your DM more or less, and you're like you have obviously you choose somebody to play that role, but you're just following the book, right?
Yeah, more or less. So like the DM's going to follow the outlined story and world and whatever X book you find. And actually, I've got one right here just as an example. Like some books are just expansions into like different rules and cores. So like this one is the Sword Coast, and this one is basically a story of its own. And it creates like a sub part of the world within D&D, and there are just certain attributes that like it's that portion of the world within the possibilities of whatever world you're building with D&D. But like each book is just its own little story, and a DM's just going to run that and follow the rules and the characters within that, and there might be some variable like NPCs or something in that.
Yeah.
Right.
So like for like a novice though, that would be something to follow more or less. Like we would get that, so and we would do, play with that.
Yeah. So like we as players would just run. You would just need a player's handbook to know the basics and rules for the game. The DM would have one of those storybooks, and they would be the ones outlining the world and the events and everything going on around you. And you as players would obviously kind of be trying to, I don't know what the word is, like maneuver around obstacles or quests or whatever,
monsters or dungeons, whatever.
Yeah, so they're just kind of like following what's in the book, and you're just reacting to however they're outlining that for you.
Gotcha.
So just a quick side note, so everybody that's watching this live, they do notice a timer at the top. That's because we don't have Zoom Pro because what's going to happen is once the timer goes down, we're going to take a quick 1 to 2 minute intermission. The intermission screen will pop up, and we'll be back. We're just going to set up a new meeting and then come back. So just wanted to let you guys know.
So don't go nowhere.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. It will be back.
It'll be a few minutes.
So probably about at the 30-second thing, we'll go ahead and cut this meeting off and start a new one, and we'll have the intermission screen up, and then we'll be back. Just a quick intermission. It'll give me time to go get another drink too. So
yeah,
your boy be thirsty.
All the time.
All the time.
So, I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad way for us to start. If you're really wanting to get something going, like we could do it ourselves probably and follow one of them guidebooks.
Mm-hmm.
For now, until we find somebody to run their own campaign, or we get comfortable enough to make our own.
Yeah. We make somebody that we're,
Yeah, we'll
that's
talk about.
Fine with me.
All right, that's fine. Let's talk about that when we get back from our intermission.
Absolutely. All right, we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Just literally 2-3 minutes.
Yep. All right, we'll be back.
All right, so we're back. Just me and Jeff though, waiting for the other ones to join back. But yeah, so D&D does sound fun though. I'm not gonna lie.
It does. That's something I've always been interested in and wanted to do.
So the couple times I played it, it's a really cool escape for your mind, in my honest opinion. It really does. It's just and especially if you're really good at having if you have a really good imagination is what I'm trying to say, man, it really clicks for you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. We do have a guy that is possibly gonna run the campaign. I just gotta talk to him. I could probably message him after this podcast. Oh my God, it's Margaret. Your audio should work now, Margaret.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
I had to throw my hair up.
I think Hirchkin's gonna be just fashionably late like normal. So I sent him the invite on Facebook. But anyways, so D&D is a good idea to start doing. I know next week at work we decide when we're doing the recordings for the videos on the YouTube channel. I know we are I think we're gonna take a break from shooter games.
Yeah.
because the stress levels that they're bringing up. Because I know we're trying to be funny and have fun in the games, but
It's really aggravating, though, is the problem.
it's also just like we're too competitive that it's starting to actually get to us. Like we're forgetting that we're trying to be funny and we're just being just competitive. Like, oh, that's BS, and I'm like, oh wait, whatever. Like, so I think like next week, what we're gonna do, Descenders.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we are live.
Oh, hi. I thought
Yeah,
we
we've
were
been.
still.
Nope, nope. We've been live since me and Jeff were on by ourselves.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay, well, I wasn't done hitting my vape, but okay. I might go off camera for a second.
Vape
I'll be right back.
niche. Vape
And since
niche.
Jeff's still fashionably late, I guess I can be too. Hold on.
Yeah, where is he? Some administrator for Nova Circuit. Am I right, people? Unless he's going to get a drink.
I don't know what. There he is.
There he is. He's back.
Hey.
So we were just talking, Jeff. We're gonna definitely try to get this D&D thing rolling because now I just want to play Dungeons and Dragons all day.
Yeah, I just bought a campaign game that's similar to D&D.
Yeah.
Actually, it's that Gloomhaven game I was talking about. Me and Alex played the first like mission or whatever last night. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I haven't played board games in a while. Like the one that I consistently play is probably like Risk with like my family because we do that Risk competition. But we don't do regular Risk. Come on, we're not basic. We do.
Oh, you do the advanced rules.
No, we do Lord of the Rings Risk, but we don't do it. Well, we don't do it by the rule book in Lord of the Rings. We play the normal game Risk with a couple house rules, like being able to reinforce as long as all your territories connect and you can reinforce troops, blah blah. But yeah, we just fucking battle for Middle Earth and not regular basic bitch Earth.
So you're missing out on games like Axis and Allies, which is
fantastic.
It's Risk for the elite.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Risk, but
it's Risk on crack.
Super advanced Risk.
Yeah, it's like, man, I played that game over 2 days. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
I spent the night at my friend's house and we had to finish it the next day because it took like 4 or 6 hours just to get it going, and then it was like another 4 or 6 hours after that.
Yeah. The last time I played it, me and Margaret's brother played. Dude, we played it it was probably 8 hours. 8 hour, because I had just bought it because like the original game, like you can't buy new copies of it. You can only get it used off of like eBay or whatever, and I found a copy that was like perfect condition, man. All the pieces were there, everything was perfect, the box was in good shape, and he liked it a lot when he was the kid, so I brought it over and we fucking played it for like 8 hours.
It's a great game. It's
good.
really hard though.
It is. It's real hard.
Man, if you like that kind of game, I'll throw another one at you. Twilight Imperium.
Dude, I've never
heard
played it. I've heard so much about it and I've seen so much about it, but it's the same thing. It takes forever to play it.
It's very similar to Axis and Allies in a lot of ways. It's not as complicated as like armies and stuff because you can win multiple ways. But it's kind of like Risk / Axis and Allies meets Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was weird.
Why is my mic not set? So I was just trying to see because I'm messing with the audio with you guys because it said it was being distorted. So I'm going in here checking. What is my mic set to?
I have no idea. Anyway, Twilight Imperium has to be like one of my favorite games of all time.
Dude, I see it make everybody's like top lists and everything, but it's a lot. It's kind of like another one like that, Cosmic Encounters. Have you ever heard of that?
Yep, I've played a lot of Cosmic Encounters.
That's another one that's on so many people's top lists.
Okay, so like side topic, I'm part of a nonprofit gaming club out where I'm at in Corden, Indiana, and we not right now. We have a guy that was running our board games on Friday nights, and we start at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd play all the way through to like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I bet.
And this he's a little bit older than me. He's been collecting board games since the 70s, so
Oh,
he
wow.
has over
He has like the
400
original ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of this good stuff, but he's been collecting forever, and he has over 400 different board games, not including expansions.
Yeah.
And he's gone as far as like doing 3D printing for game pieces for some of his games. But we always rotated games out. He'd bring 3, 4, 5, 6 different games every Friday, and I've played all kinds of games. Cosmic Encounters was one of those games that we played. It was just like a group favorite that we played at least once every week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally won one or two times. It's such a great feeling. But like each player basically in that one gets like a special like civilization or race card.
Yeah, it's like asymmetric, isn't it? Like each player has their own different abilities.
Yes. So like each one of those races, like alien races, gives you like a different ability. And so at like a different stage in the game, you can interact with that one extra ability or rule that might affect the gameplay just slightly. And some are better than others, and some are just garbage. But you get to make a selection out of like 3 or 5 or something, and it's somewhat randomized, so nobody can get like the same thing twice.
You say?
Did I cry?
Oh no, Margaret's frozen. She's gone forever.
Yeah, you kind of. Oh no, there you are.
Oh no, the end of the world.
Yeah, man. That's kind of what me and her are really into, man. I just bought like 5 more board games that are they're kind of like the hot ones this year.
Yeah,
and,
there's a way to keep track of like different lists and stuff. A couple of resources out there. I actually played a new one tonight, in fact, called Parks, which is a resource game.
I've heard of that.
And this one plays like you move your hikers along this track, and you're playing. You're visiting like different state and national parks across the U.S. and collecting these resources to like buy the parks and stuff. And each park is like worth a certain amount of points. And so that one was really fun.
Is it like worker placement kind of thing?
A little bit. Is the worker placement is like half of the game, and then the other half is like resources, and the resources allow you to purchase like the either like hiking gear or the actual parks, which are worth points as well.
That's funny. The game I just bought, it's coming tomorrow, is like that. It's called Everdell.
I think I've played that one. Is that like, is it the deck? Is it a deck builder one?
It's kind of like worker placement deck building. So the board is like there's like this big 3D tree looking thing. It's out of cardboard, but it's like a tree, and then there's like meeples you can put on it to like change the seasons, and then on the actual board part, there's like different resources and worker placement, and then there's an area of like community cards that you can purchase with the resources for like end game points and stuff like that. I mean, that's a real basic
it sounds familiar, at least the name. But I've played so many different board games now, I can't keep track of all of them.
Yeah.
But I love games like that. The resource games and the deck builders are some of my favorites for sure.
Ours too.
I like deck builders.
We have a lot of deck building games. That's what
dude,
hopefully
I know
we're going to be
a lot
showing you guys soon.
Jason.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I know the DC deck builder game was awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely a good starting point. That's kind of what got me into some of the deck builders at first.
Yeah, same here. We bought the Cryptozoic DC one.
The DC,
And
and then we
then
got the Marvel one too.
yeah, we bought all of them. I bought the Naruto one.
Oh man, the Naruto
Legend,
one is really
Harry.
good.
Dude, I love it, but she hates playing it because she doesn't know Naruto like that. So she
I mean,
likes
you
more
don't have
the.
to like know the characters per se, but that one just
And
plays so well.
yeah,
You don't, but it
it makes it
definitely
fun when you do
changes the whole
know.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Another really good one is the Harry Potter one if you haven't played it.
They have a Harry Potter one? What?
Oh yeah. You
Oh,
can find it at Target for like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks.
yeah, I think we're gonna get it.
That's probably one of the best ones because you actually go through different stages of years. And so each year adds on like another layer to the game.
Oh no, that's the one we have. That's
Is
the
it?
one we have. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's
yeah.
So
there's
it's like
like
a community.
7 different games and you keep adding
Yeah, you
like
play
the
through
next
the
game you
years
add
and
another
like
one.
Yeah, we do
add
have that
another
one.
have
Yeah.
like an enemy deck that you gotta
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah. No,
I'll
that
tell you
one's
right
really
now,
good.
Hermione is the most overpowered
That's who I
character in
play.
that game.
Yeah.
That's who I
Yeah, she
played.
is good.
I think
Dude, I
there's
think I played Harry the whole time.
Harry, yeah. It was me and Hermione. It was Harry and Hermione that we played the
I
whole
want to
time.
say I think Ron was like the next best character maybe
Yeah, I
though.
was looking at his
Yeah.
stats and it was pretty good.
Like Harry's okay, but like man, Hermione just takes the cake.
She
Yeah.
really does. Like if you really can
She
play
kept
with her
buffing
very
the hell
well.
out of me, man. She just kept like healing me and giving me
Mhm.
like coins and stuff like the whole game.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what her ability was specifically, but I think she had the she was able to do something twice, I think.
Yeah, once you got up to like the top of the end of the game, it changed to where I was able to either give myself health or a partner a health
And a coin.
and a coin. So I was able to like help my partner out, and keep them alive if they needed it, or I could just distribute health. That's what basically Hermione was. She was just keeping everybody alive through the game. So when you collected all those certain cards that went with her ability, nobody pretty much died. That was, if you played her right, you could not die. It was pretty good.
Yep.
And she went really well with Harry.
There was one part of the game I think though where she's able to
I have it
either
right here.
attack more or attack like twice or something.
I have it right here. Give me 1 second and I'll get it.
Man, she's like walking away from the camera a lot. What is this?
This is Zoom. This is life.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the way of the podcast.
Yeah, we aren't editing this to make it look really good.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. So let me dig out hers. Now, we don't have no expansion packs, so if you played with expansion packs...
I don't think I did. I think it's just like the basic version where you just go through years 1 through 7.
Yeah, so this is her... I think this is her next card. Yeah, game 7. So that...
No.
No, not
You're not
that.
going to be able to show it.
We can
You're not
see
gonna
the
be able to
picture,
show
not the
it.
text.
Okay. So it says if you play 4 or more spells on your turn, all heroes gain 1 coin. That's what hers was. But then she had other stuff in her thing.
I think it was whatever the base one was.
Base one. Yeah, that one's dug in game 1. Yeah, it's a really cool game. I like it.
And again, it's super cheap. I think I want to say it was like $35 at Walmart.
Yeah, it wasn't very
Target.
expensive.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
I think I know who you're talking. I think you're talking about the one character. What's his name? Because I don't think that's hers. Hers was just to be able to. Ron was if you assign 3 or more attacks on your turn, all heroes gain 2 health. Neville was each time a hero gains a heart on your turn, that hero gains an additional heart.
Oh, maybe Neville was the one.
Yeah, I would say
Neville's
Neville would
pretty
probably,
good.
Yeah. And then, of course, Harry is the first time a what are those things called? The little skulls is removed from the location each turn. You get to take up 2 off of it, and each
Yeah, I
hero
think
gains
that's
an
like your
attack.
Doom counter in the game, maybe.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then I think Ron's is another good one. Ron is, like you said, is probably the next best after, which is the 2. All heroes gain 2 health. That's a good card because you can lose health really quickly. I mean, especially with the monsters you have to fight, especially if they fall together. Those monsters are ridiculous together, and they just kill you instantly on the first turn. So, but it's a fun game. It's definitely something to invest in.
Yeah, it was cool.
We'll definitely do a gameplay on this one for sure when we get our gameplay set up.
Oh yeah, Jeff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hershkin, I don't know if you know, but they're gonna do their own like board game videos, like reviews and playthroughs for the channel. So
Awesome.
I know you're probably into that. So if you're wanting to make videos like that, you're more than welcome to. Also.
Yeah.
I might find a way to like participate maybe or something. But
We should,
yeah,
you know,
board
on
games are like one of my favorite things
Jeff
to do.
on
That's awesome.
on Tuesdays
Yeah.
when we usually do Pokemon, maybe we can set one of the Tuesdays aside just to play board games.
Possibly.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I mean, it is possible if you guys have the game set up, like you guys set up, but you have to kind of play what we play, so it's set up on your board the same.
Well,
and we'll do the same.
No,
and then we
not
take our
exactly.
turns.
It kind of depends what game you're playing.
Yeah, because
True.
especially on deck builder games, like
Yeah,
I gotta
deck
know your
building
hand.
games ain't gonna work like that.
No, yeah, deck
because
building games won't work like that. But
you
I'm
have
just saying,
you have like odds of the cards and probability and shit like that. That can't work. But like some games are can work like that.
Like I don't know, how could you do?
Let's do Monopoly.
Yeah,
No.
if you're
5
thinking about
tribes.
something with Monopoly as an example, maybe just like a game that requires specific actions that aren't determined quite as randomly as something like a
Yeah.
deck builder
Yeah.
Yeah.
is doable. Like, I mean, you could play chess over virtual. You could play
Right.
Oh yeah.
something like Risk over virtual.
Yeah, we could
Well, I
definitely
mean,
find something.
I know there's a lot of those tabletop simulators. I wonder if we can do it through one of those.
There are actually
Yeah, I was looking at Tabletopia. Seems pretty good.
one game that comes to mind is Wingspan. You can play
Oh, that's my favorite
online.
game.
I love Wingspan.
Yes.
Yeah,
Another great
Wingspan's
resource
awesome.
game.
Best bird
Never
game
played it.
ever.
I
But,
didn't
I mean-
think birds would be so much fucking fun. But,
Oh,
like,
I didn't either.
well,
I
you
thought
can't
that
see it
game
'cause
looked
I have a
boring at
bird.
first, but that
I
game is
know.
fantastic.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's really fun. I never knew birds could be so fun. It was very, very fun. Liked it.
Well, what else you got, Jason?
Cuke. It's heaven in a can.
Joke.
Besides like board games and all the other stuff, since basically the whole podcast has been us discussing like stuff we like to do, hobbies and stuff we'd like to incorporate into the channel.
Yeah.
Let's see. We talked about the Google Earth vacationing, which is awesome.
Yes.
That blew my mind, and I think
That
that's
was
a brilliant
really fun.
idea.
Well, that was really cool because how it started was Jason was just like, "Hey, I want to show you this," and he just went on and he was just showing me something.
I think I was showing you
And
Main
then-
Street in Huntington Beach, California.
Yeah, something. And then I was like, "Oh, you want to see where I live?" And da 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 da. And I showed him, and then he showed me where he lived and all this. And then he came back to my area, and we were just cruising around the streets, and it was like really cool. It was just fun showing him.
It felt like I
around
was
my
there.
neighborhood. Yeah, it made you feel like you were there. We were just cruising around our street in the neighborhood, and I showed him where the Pittsburgh Pirates season, their training camp is down here, and like it was really cool.
Yeah, that's fun, and definitely gonna have content for that because that's just amazing. What was the other thing? Never mind, my mind went blank. No, I literally
It
lost my
happens
thought.
often.
I literally lost
It
my
happens
thought.
often.
It doesn't happen that often, but it happens, and it happened right now, live. So I literally had the thought in my head, and then for some reason I thought Wreckfest, and then I just all went away. So, but I know like some of the most of the content coming out soon is not going to be a lot of shooter games like it has been. Like I said, me and
Right.
when me and Margaret or Mills or whoever, whenever we play these shooter games, we try to be funny, but then we're very competitive in them. So the funny part just goes out the window
It gets
because
real
we're just
serious.
like, yeah. And then we're all just like, well,
And you don't see very good parts of us.
No, I'm like, just like huffing and puffing and blaming everybody else for my problems.
Yeah, it's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah, I'm just like,
It's always my fault at that in every situation. It's my fault.
All I know is for like future shooter games, I know when we start posting the Halo content, that's gonna be funny because we got Mills playing with us.
Yeah,
and
that's gonna be fantastic.
like me and Margaret, I like to say, get proper angry at Halo, if that's a thing. Like, we're just like, F this sniper, it's inconsistent or something like that.
So we can get all British on it.
No, Mills.
Proper angry.
Mills has a burning like death wish for Halo. Like he has had nothing but shit experiences in Halo. So like literally like in that
I can
SWAT.
understand that.
Well, I mean just that SWAT match when we played Halo Master Chief Collection, the game started, his screen didn't even go off the black screen like after the loading menu. He literally just got there, boom, fell, got sniped or got hit in SWAT, and he was just like, nope, done. He exited the game, uninstalled it, and he was like, I'm done with this. So I need him back in Halo because just his pure reactions, like he literally thinks Halo is the worst game ever on this planet. Because
if you're playing online, that's the possibility of any game.
Yeah,
but there's something about Halo that gets under his skin, and I really don't know what it is, but
I don't know if he's.
I mean, if you play like a local game, it's not quite as bad. Like,
it will be when he's playing people that have been playing Halo as long as me and Margaret, and we're just.
Well, I keep reminding Jason that we started Mills off on SWAT, which is a very
terrible
idea to even start somebody on it.
To me, I thought it was a good idea because I was just like, oh, it'll teach you to kind of aim for the head, and then when we go into regular Slayer. It'd be easier for you to hit headshots. My God, was that a mistake? We should have just dropped his ass into Slayer and then just let him progress from there.
Yeah,
definitely what you should have done.
Slayer, he would probably had a better chance.
What do you think of? Have you played or have you seen or played the demo for that Outriders game?
No, I have not.
No,
I have not, but I might. I mean,
that's something to look into.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, sort of like Destiny.
Is it?
It's similar, but it's
okay.
You ever played that game Bulletstorm?
Yeah, I remember Bulletstorm. Yes, I do.
It's the people who make that.
Oh, okay. Man, I remember Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm, didn't they do like slow-mo action scenes when you like grab them and start shooting them?
You could like kick people.
That was
and,
pretty.
Grab
that was pretty
them
dope.
And shoot them, and it was cool.
Yeah, that was. I remember when that came out. I remember I tried to play it on my. Remember that HP laptop or the HP desktop that I had. Long time ago. We bought it when we were down there. It was like a slim.
Yes, I do remember
a slim line,
yeah.
and we bought like some cheap ass fucking video card for it. Well, I had that video card for like a couple of years. Fam wasn't spinning; it got jammed, but I still ran it. I tried playing Bulletstorm on that, and like it kept it literally just killed my computer.
Caught on fire.
It did. My computer was just like no, and then I played it on Tyrone's PC, and it's just better that way.
Yeah.
But no, Bulletstorm was cool. I liked how like you can grab full slow motion, blow their faces off with a gun. It's very Doomish. Doom is fun. Classic Doom. This new Doom, man,
they've got so many different versions of Doom now, though.
I want to play everybody in the Super Nintendo Doom.
First one. Was there a Super Nintendo one?
Yeah. Red cartridge.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you want to see it? I bet you want to see it because I have it.
Oh, that's probably one you stole from me on an auction.
No, actually, this is before you started.
That sounds
this is before you were on that auction site, and I won the Doom game. Yeah, got it real cheap. Sorry, man. When we want a game, we're not losing.
I know it. Well, you got double teams. You got you and the wife.
Well, yeah. Jeff, we feel so bad on one of them.
Don't.
So
it's not a big deal. Not at all.
On your Super Mario 64 one, you were the last bid on it. Lisa accidentally bid on it and beat you. And I was like, oh man. And we thought about just giving it to you for the price, but like, nah, we'd rather have just 2 copies.
Oh my goodness.
We were just like, Lisa was like, oh my God. She's like, that was the wrong game. And I was like, it's okay, babe. I felt so bad. I was literally going to message you that night and say, hey man, it's part of the bidding war. Just know it's nothing personal. We just,
No, it never is. But I love to joke about it. So after this last one, I actually ended up with double copies of a couple of games. I ended up with a second GoldenEye, second Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I saw you bid hardcore on those, but because you got them so cheap, I was like, dude, Jeff can
I
sell those
did.
and double it. Yeah.
I mean, I think I got GoldenEye for like $13.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think Ocarina was like maybe $20.
Mm-hmm.
And those games are starting to go up in price.
Yeah, especially with
And-
COVID, everything.
And I also got the Yoshi Story, which I've never actually finished.
Mhm.
I've never really played that game all the way through, so hopefully
Yoshi's
soon.
Story?
Yeah, it's on the 64.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
I
believe it or not,
actually know that about that one.
believe it or
So
not,
there
Jeff.
was a Yoshi game originally on Super Nintendo, and actually I think there was
Yoshi's
one on the
Island.
original Nintendo. I don't remember which one that is though.
I played the
It
hell
was-
out of the Super Nintendo, Yoshi's Island. but
Yeah,
I didn't know
I have that complete in
it
box.
was on Nintendo 64.
Yeah. So they came out with another Yoshi game on the 64, which is Yoshi's Story,
I'll be
and
back. I gotta show you.
it's
Hold on,
pretty-
I gotta
pretty
Google
cool.
this, 'cause
Hold on, I'm gonna
I've
show you guys some
never-
stuff.
He said, "Hold on."
Yeah, so there was a point in time where 64 had been out for maybe a couple of years, and I would go and visit my cousin, and my cousin always had like the latest and greatest 64 games, and you know, it was back in the time of like Blockbuster, where you go and rent a game for like a
Yeah.
week or something, and so he always had really cool games, so I got to see a lot of games, but I never got to play them all the way through. So I always had demos and short little pieces of
Mhm.
games here and there, and Yoshi's Story was one of them.
I thought you were.
We always loved renting the Super Smash Brothers when that first came out on 64. Was probably one of the favorites. Was the Paper Mario on the 64 was my
Oh,
Yeah.
first
yeah, man. It's funny, I just
Mario
literally
RPG
bought.
game.
Oh, dude, the one for Super Nintendo is probably one of the best RPGs.
Oh, Super Mario
made.
RPG.
Yeah,
I
that one's really good.
I just beat
That is,
that
like,
game
the
with my son.
best, dude.
Oh, he loves it. My son like hums the music in it, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
and the main bad guy's the Smithy gang,
Yeah.
and he's just like, it blew my son's mind that someone was more powerful than Bowser, and it was just like, well, what happened to Bowser's castle? It's like the Smithy gang took over. He's like, but how? And I'm like, and then when Bowser and Mario joined forces in that game,
Yeah.
his whole universe and his
Yeah.
brain just.
You never know what to expect with a Mario RPG. Like they're all totally different.
Dude,
Um,
that one on Super Nintendo though is definitely like
It's definitely one
top
of
10 RPGs of all time for
Yeah,
me
it's up there.
at least.
And like the Super Nintendo honestly had some of the best absolute RPGs of
yeah.
all time.
Definitely
Because
Chrono Trigger, Final
Chrono
Fantasy
Trigger,
3,
Which is actually
or 6, whatever.
6.
Yeah.
But then you had Earthbound was another
Yep.
like
Earthbound.
that's
was
a
a
cult classic
fucking
that a lot of
weird
people
one,
don't
too.
know about. That like it's one of the most simple games, but it's also
think
just one of the best.
That was like the third game too, wasn't that Mother 3 or something?
Yeah, I think it was. No, I think it's Mother 2.
2. I know it wasn't
I
the
think it's
first
2
one.
'cause
That's
the
about as
third
much as I
one-
remember.
The third one we never saw in America,
Right.
and then they did a re-release of it in Japan on Game Boy Advance, I believe. And then you had like Breath of Fire.
Yep.
If you guys ever played
No,
those,
yes, I did play Breath of
yeah.
Fire. That
Breath
was
of
a
Fire
really good one
2
too.
is like one of the
I think
is a solid RPG.
Fire Emblem started on SNES too, didn't it?
Actually, I think that one started on the NES, but there were definitely a lot of them on the Super Nintendo. A lot of the good ones.
What
Um,
was Secret of Mana?
Oh yeah, Secret of Mana. Yeah, for sure.
And Zelda, of course. Can't
My
forget Zelda. It
my
didn't start
favorite
there,
Zelda
but-
game is
Yeah.
Link to the Past.
Yeah, Link to the Past was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Really
It's,
good.
it's my favorite just to play for like nostalgia. I don't think it's the best Zelda in my opinion,
No,
but
but
it's my
Yeah.
favorite to play. I can play that over and over and over and over.
Dude, there's so many good Legend of Zelda games though. That's the
to
thing.
be honest with you, my favorite one I think is on Game Boy Color.
Which one?
Game Boy Color.
The,
Oh, that's Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening?
No, the season.
Oh, Seasons. Yes, Oracle of Seasons.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
That was my-
Mhm.
that
Oracle of
was-
Ages.
that
Those
was my
had two
favorite
of the
one.
best TV spots of all time. Like for video game trailers.
Yeah, I remember that.
That
Yep.
was amazing. I loved watching that trailer on TV as a kid.
I've liked all the Zelda games. Honestly, the only one that I haven't played all the way through was Breath of the Wild.
Hmm.
And the game was good, but I didn't like how it was almost too open.
So that one's like maybe another discussion for another day, because I can talk about that all day. It's one of my least favorite Zeldas. It is open, it's very open, and to your point, maybe too open, but like for me, there wasn't much of a story. You had to find like these little secret areas.
There's not a story really.
There was maybe a little pinch here and there when you entered like one of the cities, or when you beat like one of the big 4 bosses or whatever.
Yeah.
There might be a little bit, but other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot.
And that's why, like, honestly I stopped playing it because it was just there was no direction, there was no story. It was just like, hey, go explore and fight things.
Yeah, and that's like one of the number one things for me to have in a game is a story. Like if you don't have a story, I mean, it kind of depends on the game, I guess, because if you're playing like a shooter game like Call of Duty, there's
Zelda's
no need
like
for a story.
an action RPG though, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it kind of needs a story.
Yeah, and the other aspect of it was the puzzles for me. And I know the creators had like the intention of like you being able to explore an open world and go anywhere and find any puzzle. But the thing was, like, they originally intended it to be like Zelda 1, right? Like where you didn't know where you were going. But the thing is, each one of those had like a level you could find that had a special weapon in it. Well, you didn't have that in Breath of the Wild.
Right.
I think if they had set dungeons where you could find special weapons,
in Breath of the Wild, you basically had everything at the start of the game.
Yeah, you never found like another weapon, and all the weapons you find are had like a durability to them. Yep. Once that durability is broken, that weapon's gone.
Yeah, I didn't like that very much either.
Yeah, now they're like, if you watch some of the glitch guys doing it, like
there's crazy stuff.
Like, I'm sure it could be fun to a little bit, but like, I don't know. The shrines just didn't do it for me. I'd rather have like, the regular like 8-9 dungeons.
Yeah, no, I
30, 45-minute dungeon puzzles. Like,
yep. Because it was always cool, like when you would beat the dungeon and then like, oh, you got the slingshot or you got the bombs, and then like, you could go to the next dungeon because you acquired that item. But this one was just
and like you said, this one only had like 3 or 4 weapons. You had the magnet, the bombs, and the glider. That was about it.
What the magnet was like the stasis thing, wasn't it? Or was that something
different? Well, I think stasis was the time distortion thing. Like you could pause time for a little bit. The magnet one was like you could draw and retract stuff from you.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And then the bombs and the bombs and the bombs in Breath of the Wild were like quite a bit different from bombs in the past as well.
Yeah, they were. They're real different.
I liked Breath of the Wild, but I understand the whole story thing, because when I really do think back of it, there really was no story. And the only thing that frustrated me is in the beginning of the game, you weren't given a lot of information on what the you need to do.
There was no direction.
No, there wasn't. And I was just like, are you kidding me?
You wake up and you're like, what happened? Why am I here?
Yeah.
But see, that's like how the whole game is, though. There's no direction at all.
There isn't.
It's just do whatever you want.
Yeah. And again, like the only way you find the story is those like 10 memories that you have to find out in the open. And if you don't find those, you don't know what the story is.
Yeah.
So I kind of cheated. I Googled up where they were, because I found like 2 or 3, I think. There was no way I was finding the rest of those. And so like, if you don't find the rest of those, then like you're kind of missing out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you guys this cool stuff that I have that I got on that auction site. So speaking of the old NES and Super Nintendo stuff, these are the games that I have complete in box, and the boxes are in like really good shape. And we're ordering plastic containers for them to keep them safe. But like for the first one, we got Yoshi's Island complete in box, literally.
Oh my gosh.
Game manuals and everything, complete in box. And then we also got, these are the games that not a lot of us younger people know. Like, we're not young, but but like there's this
we're not supposed to know about it, is what you're saying.
So this one's a Sega one, and some of you guys probably watch this cartoon, but it's Real Monsters complete in box.
Oh man, I remember.
Okay, wait a minute. That's our generation there, Jason.
Yeah, but I didn't watch Real Monsters. I wasn't a fan.
I did. I did. It was my.
So
yeah, I definitely did too.
How old are you, Jason?
old enough.
I just
So
need
you're
to know
only a
how much
couple
younger
years
you
younger
are.
than
So
us.
this is an NES game. It's really actually a very popular one. I got it complete in box, and this box is like mint. Wampum. This game, by the way, would not do well in our time and age. But
Yeah, it
complete
don't
in
look like it
box.
would.
Great condition. Awesome.
What is that for?
NES. The NES.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird box.
Yep. So this is another Super Nintendo game, The Adventures of Dr. Franken.
Yes,
So I got that complete in
I
box.
do remember that.
Never even heard of that game.
Yes, I did. Yep.
Another Super Nintendo game, complete in box.
That was one of them weird
Zool.
ones you rented. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yep,
I never
Zool.
played it, but I remember seeing it.
And then
Dude, you got the like weird games that you'd get at Blockbuster when all
That-
the other cool
that
games were
wampum
out.
that wampum game's
that
worth.
was one of them.
I think the wampum game complete in box is worth over 100. Like it's a sought after
Really?
game. Yeah. No, I'm not
Wow.
lying.
Oh, man, I've never even
it's
fucking heard of it.
It's not Chrono
It's probably
Trigger.
because it has that guy on the front of it.
Yeah. It's not Chrono Trigger, but it's sealed still, and it's PlayStation Chrono Cross sealed still.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Brand new
Awesome.
sealed.
I love that game, man. That game was so good.
And then the last two completes are Cool Spot for
Cool
the Sega.
spot.
Complete. So
That's a cool one.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I remember
The little
that game.
7-Up guy.
And then
Yes!
Jeff, you'd appreciate this one because you're really good at this game. But complete Super Street Fighter 2
Oh,
Socials
yeah.
Champion Edition.
Nice.
So,
I remember that too.
Awesome.
And that's it. And then I got these. I got all these in one day. But here's just stuff that's loose. But I got the first Final Fantasy
Yay.
Okay.
for the NES in here. I got Super Smash TV, not Brothers.
Oh, man.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't even
Okay, I
know.
remember
Dude, I used
that.
to play the hell out of that on GameCube.
Yes.
Yeah. I got the Page Master for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I got Hey Punk, Are You Tough Enough?
That just
I don't know that game.
They made a game
I-
based off of that.
Yeah,
I
so-
remember
It's like
seeing
a
that.
Final Fight clone or something.
I could totally show you guys my whole Super NES and collection, but that's a whole other podcast to come. But this is just this was off of one auction, and this one me and Lisa spent a lot of money. A lot to where the point where we're like, oh, we're no longer buying stuff off the auction site just to go in next week and beat Jeff in some auctions.
So all that stuff was off of one thing?
Yeah, that was one auction night that I won all these.
Dang.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like one bid you got all that stuff? It was
No,
all-
no.
No, it was all separate.
I bid on them separately, and I got them all, and I was
Yeah,
so
you
pumped.
always usually get kind of a mix of stuff on the auction site where it's like, some of those like sports games that nobody ever buys for like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
a couple bucks, and you might find one or two really good, like kind of well-known games.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
But man, to find one of those auctions where you get like all the good stuff,
yeah.
like in
Right.
box.
I'm just curious,
Complete.
what is the auction site? Is it just like a local thing
Yeah,
for you, or
you
is
have
it
to
like
be
nationwide?
you have to live in Louisville. So when you guys move to Louisville, I'll invite you to it. But it's a guy I know named Anthony. He runs it, and what he does is he buys storage lockers, and he likes to buy storage lockers that has geeky stuff in it. So he'll
Nice.
buy storage lockers that have video games and classic games in them. Go home, check them, test them, make sure they're all good to go, make sure they're not fake, blah blah blah, and then he'll auction them on the auction site. That's what he'll do. He'll auction them
Nice.
real cheap. Jeff will tell you he got 007 and frickin' yeah, super cheap. It's really cool. And then he has a buy it now price, which is usually about 20 to 30% off the full price you can find it online. So how he does his research is he'll look on eBay, see the sold prices, what they were sold at, and then he'll go on what's that gaming site? There's this one site that he goes to, I can't remember, but it's like the official like game site where you can actually see what people are buying them for average. It will say when the last sold that they found online of that game and all that stuff. It's really cool.
Right. That's
So-
cool.
So you can do your research before making bids, and then me and Lisa find out. Me and Lisa gather the information. Then we in our head we have a max bid, and then we'll just kind of ease towards that max bid. We don't really
Yeah.
just go out front. And if we think it's good enough to buy now, we just buy it now because he gives you a buy it now price. We're like, oh shit, we're
Yeah.
just gonna go ahead and buy it.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's-
what's up,
he's
the
still
lone
got-
wolf?
He's still got like a lot of stuff in boxes and storage just
Hey, what's up,
sitting
Lone
around
Wolf?
that he hasn't even.
Oh, and the meeting ended. No. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching that. So if you guys stick around, me and Margaret are gonna play games. But yeah.